Nathan! Hello, you just walked... Someone called to them. Oh. Although the sun was in James's eyes, he was fairly certain that the man approaching them was Nathan de Sandow, a merchant they had met in Kent English before. I had not expected to see you three again for quite some time. I expect you wouldn't. How can Nathan de Sandow be of assistance to you? Well... Your name? By any chance are you any relation to the Sandow, who was the workman who built Count Corvallis' wine cellar? None, but unfortunately the Count refuses to believe me. I see conspiracy in his eyes every time I meet him, but I don't know how I can put him at his ease about the accident. We would both be all the healthier if he didn't dwell on such an unfortunate coincidence. The accident? Do you know anything about the accident that killed Neville Corvallis? It was a peculiar accident, if I understand the tavern keeper at the Duck's Head in Cavil Keep. Seems this Sandow fellow was something of a drunkard who had a reputation for building inferior structures. I found it hard to believe the Count would have entrusted the construction to such a man, but surely he couldn't have meant for the wine cellar to collapse. You think the Count intended to have the wine cellar collapse? For what purpose? I've heard the Count suspected his son of something terrible, but the Count and I have enough bad blood between us. I don't wish to say anything else that may jeopardise my suit with Ugain. As the things I've related to you are rumour, I would appreciate it if you didn't tell the Count we have spoken on this subject. Of course not. Shall we talk about a sword? Ugain Corvallis told us she loaned you a book about the Guard of Revanche. Might I borrow it back from you? Unfortunately, I don't have it on my person. I left it at home. At home? Are you certain you didn't misplace it anywhere? As it is alone, I keep it in a very safe place where it cannot become damaged. Somewhere like Cavil Run? I have always wondered what the leader of the Nighthawks might be like. Oh my lord, and now it seems we meet face to face. Interesting conclusion. How do you arrive at it? We found the abbot's journal in Cavil Run after we had a slight run-in with a few of your men. You mentioned earlier that you thought that Count Corvallis might have killed his son, but as I recall, the body was never found. Oh yes, and you have displayed an unerring interest in the Corvallis family. The kind of interest that a son might display in a family from whom he has been separated. Did you kill yourself, or was that your father's doing? I believe congratulations are in order. You've accomplished what my father, his men, and the king's detachment from Bastara were unable to achieve. You are a clever man. Why the Nighthawks, Nathan? Or shall I call you Neville? Oh my lord. 14-year-old wives with children, and now Neville has been after his own sister while he's been pretending to be Nathan. And his sister doesn't apparently recognise him, nor does his father. This is like Dynasty. Where's Locklear when you need him? And his sister, where's Heather? Suppose for a moment a woman bears her husband a strong, attractive, intelligent son, much as my mother did with me. Yeah. As he grows, he shows every sign that he will make a fine man, but somehow different. What are you trying to say? Suppose then at the age 11, the boy's father discovers the boy is not in fact his son, but the son of another man, a bastard. Among the common folk it would be no great crime, but supposing that the fooled father was noble, that would change things, wouldn't it? What if the real father had gotten the child upon the indiscreet noblesse as a means to gain power? You became a threat to the succession, so the Count opted to eliminate you. He locked you in the wine cellar, but you found your way into the care of the Nighthawks. Yes. They had come to Cavall to regroup following their rout by the Prince Arutha, and initially they thought to ransom me. When they realised the Count didn't pay for my return, they decided to kill me, but I convinced them I had mental powers. The spyglass. It has been useful on more than one occasion. It gave me control of the Nighthawks, and it also allowed me to predict my father's moves. He believed I was dead, of course, but the appearance of Nathan de Sandow years later made me nervous. He believed I might know about the scandal and would tell what I know. That wouldn't be any fun. Far better to talk to your murderer than to kill you, think. Pardon me, I'm belched and you became agitated when I talked this keep. It was a shame to lose the necessary sacrifice. So you could have control of the cabin of the keep. Perfect timing for you. You made an excellent with the moral you were dealing. The tunnels were extensive and relatively unknown by any outside of the family. Besides, my husband told Guy that she's your sister. Alright, only your half-sister, but still, she's your sister. I would eventually have been its rightful master. Not that I would have conjugated the marriage, I think you mean consummated. Conjugation is what you do with verbs, I believe. Ishap forbid. Yeah, good. I'm glad you wouldn't have conjugated. Can't have conjugating in our games. She would have died some unpleasant death on her wedding night. Shock? The shock would have killed her. Tragedy seems to play the Corvallis family. Between the family fortune and Delican's deposit with the Sanatus and Caval Keep, I could have run the Nighthawks indefinitely. I want the key, Navan. Hand it over. Perhaps you would like to take it from me. Since you first arrived in Romney looking for the Nighthawks, I've been watching you, Senor James. For years I've heard tales about Jimmy the Hand from the man who survived your Nighthawk purchase in Krondor. They told me very impressive tales about you. Now it's time to see if you can match a true Nighthawk in combat. Navan ripped off his tunic. Beneath he wore the familiar uniform of the Guild of Death, a golden hawk emblazoned on a black gambeson. Ordinarily I do not dress so heavily, he said with a grin, withdrawing his weapon, but you interrupted some business I was planning to take care of. Well... oh, it's 35 damage, my god. Okay. James, attack him. I'm going to get Owen to freeze him. Ooh, it's not flame cast. What is it? No, the fetters of rhyme. That's it. Freeze opponents. Let's make it hefty, Owen. And don't miss. Dare miss. He's right in front of you. Look. Could that really have gone any worse? I mean, really? At least he missed. I'm going to try again. I bet he'll get Gorath this time. Perhaps if I just blind him. I can't believe that. I really cannot believe that. Owen. Owen, you're an idiot. How can you miss? Get him. No effect. We're gonna die and we're gonna have... No, we're not gonna have to go through all that bloody conversation again, surely. Right, I'm gonna right, this is lost unless I can freeze him. But I can transfer some of Owen's health to Gorath, but it's not going to do any good. Where is the fetters of rhyme? Right. Can you see him? No, he's not got line of sight, so can't do anything. I'm going to try despair in his eyes again then. And I can't... Why have you not given me the opportunity to save when this is going to be something difficult? If only Owen had hit. He had to hit bloody James instead. I don't believe it. Oh. Of all the cack-handed things to do, Owen, I can't even do it now, can I? You're not... Because you can't... You're going to have to move, aren't you? Right. Gorath must be just about dead now. I wonder... Hang on. Can we flee? Can we flee? Flee! But this doesn't help us with... I don't know why it's doing that. Right, I mean, that... I've now got to go through all those bloody pages of dialogue again. I'm going to have to reload. Oh. This game hates people who play it. Can you not have an autosave or something, just to avoid things like that? I mean, oh God, Owen, of all the bloody cack-handed things you could have done.